I don't recommend starting with some hard kind of a ball like a baseball or golf ball. That's that would suit you when you have already some experience with a softer kind of a ball. Okay, so we're placing it on the mat, and what we're doing, let's start with the right foot. We're going to place our foot, the ball of our foot, just the area under your big toe, to the inner edge, okay, of the foot. Take a comfortable position, keep your spine neutral, abs engaged, hands on your hips, and we're going to press gently and slowly roll the ball toward the heel bone. And once it reaches the front of the heel bone, right, you don't want to go right on the heel, not yet. So it's just to the front of the heel bone. We're going to stop and roll it lightly back, releasing the pressure and rolling back. So we're pressing right here, slowly toward the heel bone, and release. Again, breathing in, inhaling when we're applying pressure, and exhale when you release. Or you can breathe at your own pace without forcing the breath. Going to feel if there are any trigger points, that feel more painful than the others. The pain should be in a range of probably on a scale of 1 to 10. It should be somewhere around 6 or 7 if you're more, active and more comfortable with self-massage, already have some experience. Okay, now we are moving the ball so that it rolls along the center of the foot. Okay, so we're placing it just in between second and third toe, and we're going to roll it all the way up to the middle of your heel bone. So keep breathing, applying pressure, slowly rolling it, feeling the sensation it creates in different parts of your foot. Breathing in and out slowly. No rush. You don't want to rush with this kind of self-massage. I would say probably not any kind of self-massage, because the best results you can get is from going slowly and deepening the tissues into the object, right? Or the object into the tissues. Last time, and now we're moving the ball, the tennis ball, to the outer edge, okay? And rolling it from pinky, the fourth toe, fourth and fifth, and along the outer edge. Your foot is staying parallel to the floor. It's not right along the edge, right? But close to the outer edge. And pressing it all the way until it reaches the heel bone. Remember about your position, body position. We shouldn't round our shoulders. You keep your spine nice and long. And pressing gently. Okay, now you probably noticed a couple of spots where it felt particularly, tense. So we would want to roll all across the foot now and remember where that spot was. And you want to place pressure on it. If you want, lift the other foot off the floor. And we're going to keep it here for about 4 deep breaths, okay? If you feel like it's too much, release, lean a bit back to release the pressure. Staying right here and breathing. Notice if you're relaxed, it might be hard to relax. Again, if it's hard to relax, you would want to release the pressure. Nice. Okay, good. Now we'll place right the center of our heel bone on the ball and we're gonna shift our body weight onto it, and we're kind of gonna press against it in a bouncy way, just to massage our heel bone a bit. Tiny movement. Awesome. And move the ball right under the ball of the foot, the pads under the toes, and we're gonna hug the ball with the toes and release. So leaning forward, applying pressure and hugging the ball, and release. And a couple more times. Hold and breathe and release. Hold and breathe and release. And now we'll walk forward and back while keeping our toes around the ball. The other stepping with the free leg forward and back. Great. Now we'll move the ball straight to the middle, like the mid-arch, right here where you have that arch. And we're going to shift the weight to that spot. Hold it here and breathe. Deep breath, but not too intense. Keeping our shoulders down. Couple more breaths and relax. Awesome. Great job. Now stay straight and feel the difference in between your right foot that you've been working with and the left foot. How much more it's the tissues, opened up, released, and how much more responsive, and it's kind of flattening against the floor, melting over the floor. So that's what we want, right? The sensation. Okay, now we're switching, placing the ball closer to the inner edge, right under your big toe, and pressing, shifting the weight, and rolling the ball all the way to the front of the heel bone. Slowly. Again, feeling those areas where it feels especially tense. Breathing in and out. Breathe in when applying pressure and release. Great job. Couple more times. Release your neck, release your jaw, your shoulders are down, your spine is nice and long. And last time, slowly, no rush. Great. Now moving the ball to the center, to the midline of the foot, under the second and third, in between the second and third toe, and repeat the same motion. Leaning, sinking into the ball, and rolling it along the foot toward the front of your heel. Breathing in, pressure, breathe out, release. Couple more times. Relax your toes. Make sure they're not curling, they're not holding tension. You want to relax your toes, your ankle. And last repetition right here. And we are moving the ball to the outside, closer to the outside edge, right? Under the fourth and fifth toe. And rolling it along the entire outer edge toward the heel bone. Check your neck. It shouldn't hold any tension. Breathing in and out. Moving slowly. Couple more times. Great job. Okay, so now we're stepping on the ball with the heel and little bouncy movement, right? Little bouncy. Massaging our heel. Our heel is the first to hit the ground. If our walking pattern is right, it would be the first to hit the ground. So it always takes on the biggest load when we walk. So we would want to release tension right there. Awesome. Now rolling the ball forward to the ball of the foot, hugging the ball with the toes, applying pressure and release. And hugging, pressure, breathing in, release. Yeah, and we forgot to work with to work with the target point. We'll do that after that. Slowly. Let's do the walking part as well, and then we'll move on. Okay, so now we're going to walk with the other foot forward, applying pressure, release. Pressing with the ball of the foot, walking back, release. Pressing, release. Couple more times. Here we're also stretching our calf muscle, which is very important as well. And last one. Great job. Okay, so let's get back to our target point, right? We roll the ball along the sole of the foot. Feel your trigger point. Find the point. That's on a scale of 1 to 10. If we're talking about pain, it should be higher than 5 but less than 8. Not too painful. So find that kind of a spot on this foot. Shift your body weight onto it. Adjust the body weight if it's too much. Again, lean slightly back and staying right here and breathing for 4 full breaths. Reaching upward with the crown of your head, lengthening your spine. Trying to relax your foot. Great job. Okay, now we're placing that ball under the arch, right? The mid-arch. Okay, and we're pressing into it, staying right here. And if it's too much, you release, okay? If it's good, you can hold it here. Or you can choose to press, hold for as long as you're not, accumulating any tension in your body. And then once it starts coming, you release. Shoulders down. Looking straight ahead. Couple more times. And last one. Great job. Okay, now we can stand again with your feet about hip width distance apart, knees soft. Close your eyes and just feel the sensations in the soles of your feet. How much more open they are and receptive to the surface you're standing on. Nice. Doesn't it feel good? Yes, it does. I love this. I do this kind of self-massage before any of my lower body workouts, and also before cardio. I do just a short session always, just at least rolling, along the 3 lines of the foot, so that when you start jumping and your feet adjust better to the surface and you don't injure yourself. Okay, let's do the last thing with the ball. We're going to roll the ball gently across the top of the foot and then to the sides. On the inside, very gently. You don't press too hard, just to kind of wake up our sensors, right, that run on top of the foot. You can do across, along, and around. Get onto your toes and behind your ankle. Awesome. And the other foot. Back and forth and across. I'm not pressing hard, just light pressure so that it feels good. Okay, great. We're done with the ball. Now we're going to work a bit with our ankles, mobility. So we'll step forward with the right foot and we're gently going to rotate our foot onto its outer edge with your knee soft and your spine neutral. So out to the outer edge and slowly in. So what you want to focus here on is on the motion that takes place, the movement in your ankle. If you want to rub it so that your brain kind of registers that sensation better, rub it a bit and channel all your attention to your ankle. So taking it to the outer edge and back flat on the floor. Not halfway, but completely flat on the floor. Okay, so out to the side and in, out and in, and one more time. Awesome. Now we're going to take the same foot out to the side comfortably, bend our knees and we're going to rotate it now to the inner edge. Okay. Again, thinking about the movement that's happening in your ankle. It's got to be smooth and fluid, not rough, not, intense, just gentle. Your ankle doesn't need that kind of high intensity that maybe your, upper thighs, hips would need. It's a very delicate structure. You want to work with it gently, and you do get results from this kind of training. Sometimes we think if we don't go hard, we don't really get good results. That is so not true, because we have different layers of muscles, we have different kinds of joints, and they all require different approach. But whatever you do, if you're doing the right way, you do get the results. Okay, now we will flip our foot onto the front of your toes so that your heel is looking back. And think about just pressing the big toe gently into the floor, not too much, but gently, so that your heel is not falling out to the side, but looking straight up ahead. And we are going to inhale, bend our knees slightly, and exhale. So now you would probably feel you stretching the top of your foot and the front of your ankle and the shin. Pressing into the other foot equally into all 3 contact points, like your big toe, your little toe, and your heel. You're not leaning backward or forward to the inside or outside of the supporting foot. And our big toe of the foot we're working with is firm against the floor. Slowly, you don't want to overstretch here, so start very, very with a very small range of motion. Okay, flip it back. Again, take a brief moment to feel the difference in between your feet. You definitely will. Okay, and now switching. The left foot, step it forward. Knees are soft. Rotating that foot out to the outer edge and back flat on the floor. Gently thinking about the motion in your ankle. Pressing gently. Smooth and fluid. Now, while you're doing this workout, these kind of exercises, your brain is paying more attention, right, to the joint that we're focusing on, which is in our case, ankle. So next time, if you do it on a regular basis, next time you're about to trip, slip, whatever, your brain is going to have better control of your ankle joint, and you have a lot less chances of getting injured. And last one. Okay, now we're stepping out to the side. Knees are soft, and we're rotating it to the inner edge. Very gently. Check your spine. Your pelvis shouldn't be, it shouldn't be tilted too much forward. It should be just neutral so that your lower back has got that neutral curve. Your abs are slightly engaged. And remember 3 contact points of your supporting foot. Gentle motion at your ankle. And breathing. Couple more times, no rush, no overstretching, no overpressing. Good. Okay, and now we're taking it to the top of our toes. And again, big toe, gently, slightly more pressure into it. And stretching the front of your foot and your shin. Pressing into the supporting foot to come up. And feeling just slight stretch, comfortable along your working foot and lower leg. Reaching upward with the crown of your head. And breathing. Nice. Last one. Awesome. Great job. Now place your feet down and let's just feel the sensations. How much more grounded you are to the ground. How much more freedom there is in your feet. Nice. Okay, it got pretty long today, but I want to show you one more exercise and then you might continue doing it on your own. This is for the strength of your foot muscles. I'll come a bit closer. So what you want to do, you want to lift one foot off the floor, keep it off the floor, and then we're going to lift our heel off, and as you go, you're going to land onto closer to the outer edge, and then let the heel come flat against the floor, and then shift your weight to the inner edge and press into the big toe to come up. So it's kind of like your body weight is shifting into the circular motion to the outer edge, across the heel horizontally, and then onto the inner edge, your big toe, the ball across the ball of the foot, and outer edge across the heel inner edge, big toe across to the fifth toe and down. Okay, so the foot is kind of shifting. It's shifting like this. Very slowly and with control. It could be very intense and you'll feel it all along your, the force going all along your hamstring and then eventually your glutes. If that does happen, your back chain is working properly and your muscles, your hamstrings, your glutes, they get activated their best way possible. But if you feel that the tension gets stuck somewhere, maybe in your calf area or the lower leg down below, that means that chain needs clearing up. You need to work with the back chain. Something is not like some adhesions, trigger points. They don't let the force go all the way up. Our glutes get activated from your base, which are your feet, right? So if you don't feel it in the hamstrings and eventually in the glutes, after maybe 7-8 repetitions, then you definitely need to pay attention to working with your back chain. And we switch sides again. So we're lifting the left foot off the floor, going up onto the ball of the foot, and now we're lowering along the inner edge, shifting the weight across your heel horizontally, then onto the outer edge, lifting up that heel and lower down. Well, we're doing the opposite way. You can also change. Yes, right. So we are going to, when we push off with the big toe, right? When we walk. So we would want to land onto the outer edge and then inner edge across to your fifth toe, landing down onto the outer edge, across the heel, shifting the weight to the inner edge, pressing the big toe, lifting the heel, shifting the weight across the ball of the foot toward the fifth, outer edge, across the heel, toward the inner edge, big toe pressing, and keep going slowly. Oh my goodness. My glute is gonna die now. It's like burning like crazy. You don't want to go take it also too far. Once you feel a good burn, that means it's enough. Just maybe one more repetition and that's enough. Okay, so we'll finish up right here. So just a few of these repetitions would be enough if you're just starting and you never had experience doing these exercises. Just make sure you're doing them with control and focus. Okay, let's just slide down and stretch our back line, sticking your tailbone, reaching backward with your hips. So that would tilt your pelvis kind of slightly forward, right? And keeping your spine nice and long. Keep breathing into your hamstrings. While you're staying here, you can rub your ankles with your hands, keeping your head in line with your upper back. And now, slowly, we're bending our knees, we're tucking our tail under so that the pelvis is moving backwards. We'll let our arms hang down, and we are going to uncurl very gently and slowly by pressing the entire surface of our feet into the floor equally. Uncurling slowly, no rush, especially in the end. You always want to go faster in the end. Take your time. Feel the support of your feet. Feel the body weight equally distributed in between both feet and in between the front and back of your feet. in between the inner and outer edge of your feet. Lengthening your spine, lifting your rib cage up without sticking it out. Just kind of think of lengthening it upward, away from your pelvis. Then you slowly can straighten your knees a bit more without locking them. Just straight knees, engaged lower belly. Your shoulders are down, looking straight ahead, chin parallel to the floor, reaching upward with the crown of your head. Nice. Okay, so this is the end of the workout. It was a bit longer than usual, but I wanted just to show you some of my favorite exercises. So thanks for joining.